Okay, y'all, so we do have some leftovers, right? From Sunday dinner. OMG. I might not be on here real long, but I did wanna, y'all, a few of y'all had asked me about doing a mukbang. And I was like, I was with the fam, so I mean, I can't eat on camera. I don't typically don't do mukbangs when I'm eating with them. That's that fat from the neck bone. But anyway, let me say my face. I just read an email that I'm not happy with. I mean, y'all, I'm hungry. I got some cornbread too. Okay, so let me tell you. Remember I made this cornbread for the dressing. So I didn't know what the cornbread tastes like. So I was like, well, I just need cornbread. So my son-in-law so he was like, did you make this cornbread from scratch? And I was like, yeah. I'll say, you know what? Okay. I said, no, I don't know what it tastes like. I said, I just thought about it. I don't know what it tastes like because I just made it for the dressing. And I was like, okay, well, maybe somebody want cornbread. So I saved half of it. Half a pan. Okay. I'm used to sweet cornbread. Like a little hint of sweet. Like, I like Jiffy cornbread. And then the hot water cornbread I make even has sugar in it too. That tastes pretty good. And I'm not a chicken and rice fan. So let me taste this concoction, honey. And I don't like, that's a rosemary piece. Hot. Mm. It don't taste bad. Mm. So y'all can tell I'm here at work, right? And I've been listening to, I listened to, what's her name, Latasha Daniels. I listened to her, what's it called? She testified on her own behalf, right? Now, for some reason, I remember when this happened. I came into the tail end of this thing. I didn't come till the last day. And then the jury giving their thing. So, I was watching today. And I'm listening to the story. Her tell the story about their relationship. Her relationship with this pastor. Baby, it was a lot. That was a lot to take in. Considering I'm all too familiar with different type of lifestyles, right? So no judgment being passed here on that. I think it just kind of raised my antennas, knowing just to see like how No, that cornbread is not that good. How that could lead to what it ended up as, right? You know, she unalived the pastor and SHOT the wife. But supposedly she had every intention on unaliving herself, but she been having this relationship with this pastor. Maybe he wanted people to watch them. And she was like, she ain't with it. And you know what's so weird? But then, shit, hold on. Y'all know I be needing my monitor for my life. Damn, this ain't hot enough for me. They still seem cold. Well, in certain spots. But anyway, what's always amazing and interesting when the pushback, most of the time people have this pushback against threesomes. They're typically cheaters. What's so wrong with doing it? You already stepping out. You know what I'm saying? She was already sleeping with a married man. The wife already in a threesome and don't know it. You know what I mean? She probably knew it. 9 times out of 10, we know when some shit is alright with our man. You know? But I'm listening to her story about, I thought it was interesting when it finally got to the point to where that day when everything happened, they were supposed to be letting the wife know. That's why she went over there to talk to the wife. And then he was going to come over, and then it was going to be okay, we getting ready to set this all up so we can be one big happy poly family. Basically, that's what was getting ready to go on, a polyamorous relationship. Whatever y'all want to put on there. Then the pastor flipped the script. This is her story now. The pastor flipped the script when he got there. I'm wondering if the pastor was waiting for her to go ahead and make the move. You know what I mean? But she was in her feels because she said the pastor was acting like he ain't know nothing about it. I mean, well, he wasn't doing what they had planned. I'm going to tell y'all something. Now, the other part of the story, too, about going to the pastor for spiritual guidance instead of her being a licensed therapist. If I got her job title right. Now, this is what she been doing. I get what she's like, oh, she's in private practice and she didn't want her. Child, I ain't get that. She didn't want her name. Basically, she didn't want her name to be tainted. Because she a therapist that need therapy. Most therapists need it. No. Like, well. So, instead of opening up to a third party, she could have been going to get therapy somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to open up for nobody to judge her, but she wasn't worried about opening up them legs to get a little therapy. with the pastor. I'm sitting here until my mouth drop, baby. When she was talking about that oral, oh, I said, look at the pastor. Y'all gotta remember now, these pastors, they men. They men, they still human. They still human now. They still human. Oh. And so, but then this is the thing now. She said he was forcefully pushing Johnson down her throat. So bad it was painful. And then the intercourse was also just as painful, if not worse. And you still kept going bad. Yeah, he was into a lot of different stuff. And she was with the shits, though. Folks with her because she was with the shits. But I'm listening, and I'm like... And this is what's crazy, though. If she knew, if she was saying that the wife... that the pastor had done told her before that the wife is all for exploring in their marriage. It just has to be somebody that they don't know. And if you and her know each other, then you already know, like, that wasn't gonna fly. Mm-hmm. And it's like, a little bit of that story just, it was a lot. When being poly goes wrong. Baby, that was a hellified testimony. I'm curious as to what her sentence gonna be. She was only found guilty of 2 of her 3 charges. And then they didn't get first degree because they couldn't. I guess the jury was like, they couldn't find, premeditation or whatnot. And I can't remember what her sentencing is, but I wish I had followed this whole case. I got to go back through it because I want to see did the wife ever. I'm quite certain the wife of Vietnam. I'm quite certain she took the stand. I was like, I got to go back through them, huh? This was interesting, honey. And then it's just the fact that, was it a co-pastor? The pastor even had a plan of action if anything happened to him medically. Like, don't call the authorities, call the other pastor. Maybe they had it all figured out. But what I was confused about, maybe, no man. I was getting ready to say, how she end up at their church anyway, and she's not familiar with Memphis. Was the church in Memphis? What? But people do go out of town for church. Because I was like, she's not for me. But I was like, no, I do know because we went to church out of town. Y'all got to give me some more details about this case, honey. I'm like, And see, hold on. My last piece of bread. I'm giggling because they're saying give him enough rope, the HANG himself. He had enough to do it, didn't he? Now, this is what's wild. Now, wifey has given you, if he wasn't lying. So now that's why I was like, I got to see what the wife, the wife said. She would testify. Because did the wife agree that they had done, had some little pity pat, hanky paint, moments with a third person? And the thing about it, once again, like I say, somebody give me an inch, they take a mile. He done broke the rules. See where it got him? Sleep for a good little while. Man, y'all got to tell me about this. It's a lot. I think my thing with chicken and rice is I just had PTSD because growing up, we had chicken and rice like at least once a week. And it lasts forever. Oh my gosh. One day you'll have chicken. Then it turns into chicken and rice. Then the chicken and rice is like 2 days worth. And then it turned into soup. I hate soup. But these cabbage and collards are so good. Don't make no sense. I did that. I did my thing on them. Hold on. Y'all gotta see that meat. Got that nipple. Well, y'all, my lunch is over. Get back to work. I wouldn't even play. I wanted to go live. Y'all tell me what y'all know about that case. But yeah, she already done did a little time. I got to read up and see about this story about Diddy and his drinking hooch. I'm like, I know this nutso didn't. I know that got to be a lie. He trusts no one. He need to take Suge Knight advice. Your head down, trust no. You got the nerve to be out here trying to convince the judge to let you go home because you a better person. So that's what I was like, I know that got to be a lie. That man didn't get caught. That got to be clickbait. But, y'all, thank y'all for joining me for lunch. Y'all have a great day. Be great in it. And Make sure if you're gonna be in a poly relationship, everybody in it poly know what's going on.